Welcome to the Football Show on PLZ Soccer, sponsored by Arnold Clark. I'm Peter Martin, delighted to have your company. It's Friday, it's International Weekend. Alan Rough and Barry Ferguson are here with me. Two guys with just a barrel load of international caps. It's as simple as that. Probably a quiz question could be, who has the most caps between the two of them? And then you have to decipher from their two faces when they're smiling right now. And there you have it. There's your answer for you. So, on that note, let's crack on. What's been in the news today? Yeah, the awards just keep coming for Dick Campbell. We'll be talking about Dick a little bit later on, but Alan Rough and Barry Ferguson are going to look ahead to tonight's match against Belgium at Hampden. It's a friendly. It's the last chance for Alex McLeish just to assess a few things before he hopefully gets off to a really good start on Monday in the Nations League games, starting, of course, with Albania. And it's also important that Scotland, I think, Ruffy, finished top of this group.
Yep, I think everybody knows the importance. You know, everybody's saying it's a lot easier to qualify this year. This time we've been given the chance. Obviously, Albania and Israel, not two of the biggest nations we'll ever come across. But I think tonight will be a good judge of what kind of formation Alex is going to play. And he'll introduce the majority of the players I think will be playing on Monday night. So it'll give us a good judge. And I think when you're picked to play against any big nation, it's always a good night.
Yeah, absolutely. This, of course, is Scotland against Belgium. Let's have a look at the record. Well, do we have what it takes? Well, Barry Ferguson, Alex McLeish has mentioned the fact that he would much prefer games like tonight against harder opposition to give the players a greater learning curve.
Yep, I totally agree with him. I would rather Scotland play a top nation than, say, somebody ranked 75th or 100th in the ranking. So you're coming up against a top quality team with top quality players, and listen, it's not about the result. For me, it's about coming up against the best in the world, and certainly Belgium have got some of the best players in the world. So it'll be a great test for them. But I like that they've took this game, as I said, with Albania coming up Monday, and we'll see how they do tonight. But you look at the Scotland squad, again, I like to look at a lot of young players. You just look at Wales last night, I thought they were fantastic. Obviously Ryan Giggs gave a few youngsters a chance, so I hope Scotland do the same, and I'm sure Alex looking to the future with just looking at his squad.
Yeah, I mean, in the friendlies, although they haven't gone according to plan at times, some of the football's been good to watch. I just wonder, and I'm just slightly, digressing on the overall way people are playing football nowadays, but For example, Wales lost a goal last night against the Republic of Ireland. I looked at the goal and I thought, this is modern day football now. If you haven't got a great first touch or you are pressed in your own box, the keeper consistently looking for this ball out and they play out from the back. Is it something you think Scotland should be doing as well, or do you think it should be a variation of it?
Yeah, listen, I'm all for playing football. I like the ball on the deck, but at times when it goes back to the goalkeeper, I would rather he launched it 60, 70 yards up the pitch or into Rose Ed in the stand. Sometimes I just think goalkeepers take too many chances, and so do players. Defending, for me, first and foremost, defend. And then it's a bonus if you can play. But I think if you look at it, as you say, it's modern day football, too many people take too many chances.
Yeah, I mean, last night, Ruffy, Aaron Ramsey is a great player. Technically, you know, he can hold that ball in at the best of times, but it was just one slip and suddenly, Republic of Ireland were on them, chipped the goal in. I mean, that was the only blemish in a brilliant performance by Wales. I think if we got that sort of performance, we'd be salivating, day in, day out, and now we're back. But I wonder how Alex McLeish's team's going to play. We've been talking about the fact that he gets them well organised, they're difficult to beat. But will he have enough coming through? Is he lucky enough that he's got enough coming through that can take the game to teams as well?
Yeah, I think a lot of the young players, that is their game. Armstrong, McGinn, they all want to go forward. And I think when you come up against a better side than you, you hear all the managers talking about you have to press them. You have to press them, stop their best players. We saw it with Rangers and Celtic, when Rangers sort of stood off Celtic and never pressed them, they get done in. But when they did press them, they got something out of the game. You can't go into this game and allow these super players all the time in the world. You've got to get in about them.
Yeah, I look at this game and I think to myself, okay, if he gets maybe one that thinks, I've given him food for thought. We're still not near the number one. I think it's not that he's fudged it. He's played it nicely at the moment until we get down to the nitty gritty games. It's Gordon tonight. It's McGregor on Monday.
Yeah, listen, they're two very good goalkeepers. There's no doubt in my mind he's lucky to have two quality goalkeepers. But for me, I'm not just saying it because I've played with the guy, but I know how good a goalkeeper he is and what type of character is it. For me, Alan McGregor will be the number one. But go back to what you said earlier, but I hope they have a go at Belgium tonight. You have got to show them some respect, but don't let them. Hampden's a beautiful pitch, a big pitch. Just don't give them time and space. Get in their faces, make it difficult. And listen, you never know what you can get out of the game. But people are saying, what will he go formation-wise? No, he likes the one up top. And as Ruffy had mentioned, we've got plenty of guys in the midfield who can run beyond the striker, who is probably going to be Lee Griffiths. You've got guys like McGinn and Armstrong, as Ruffy mentioned. So we've got plenty of legs in the middle of the pitch. I just hope that Lee Griffiths, if he plays up there alone, doesn't get isolated at times.
I think he's done the right thing with obviously Gordon and McGregor just now, but he can't continue to do that. Yep. It's okay saying Coate and Clemens and Shelton did it, but if you think back to that time, after it was settled, Clemens and Shelton didn't like it at all. They didn't like the rotating. You either want to be number one and you know where you are, but to come in and out and play this game, that game, it's just, as far as goalkeepers is concerned, you want to be playing all the time.
It's the same as outfield players. I think you just got to make a decision. Who's your number one and go with that. But obviously it depends on form. Two of them are in good form. But you've got to choose one and go with that one. I know the guy who's left out is going to be disappointed, but they're professionals at the end of the day. All you could do is keep producing for your club, and hopefully you will get a chance. But you've got to choose a number one for me. Yeah,
okay. If you were, there's a good question in the pub, Ruffy. We're sipping a beer together. Not that we ever hang about with each other now because of the restrictions you've placed on me. But what about Shelton or Clemens? Who would you pick?
Well, I would probably go for Shelton. I think, Shelton, And I have to tell you that although he was a fantastic goalkeeper, he wasn't best mates with his pals, his team pals, like wee Archie and Robbo, and they thought he was too much of a showman, too much all about me. If you get a chance to see him, he was always making fantastic acrobatic saves, and saves that they thought he didn't have to make. But
we're starting to get pernickety on saves now. If he saved it, he saved it.
Yeah, but they were sort of trying to make the point over that there were some saves he could have made without getting away a corner, you know, and putting them under pressure.
Is that no typical goalkeepers?
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity, did they reckon he was a wee bit arrogant?
Yeah.
Well, can I tell you something? I mean, the funny thing is, I think I'm watching. I don't know if you're watching it at the moment, but I'm watching the Man City documentary at the moment.
Myself.
And I mean, it's a great insight into football because Pep Guardiola said, you know, you'll get arrogance in every team, but there's obviously got to be something more than it. It can't be a destructive arrogance. I think when you're at the absolute top, he mentioned there, you know, really, really great players and really, really great teams can go to any stadium, and the fear is with the other side if you're a really great team.
Yeah, but listen, it's a great programme. I'm halfway through it just now, but he mentions that great players and great teams have got to have a certain element of arrogance. As you say, it's no disruptive in the dressing room or on the training ground, but I think any top player in any top team, if they've got that bit of arrogance, they'll go far in the game.
Yeah, just on that, when you look at the players that are available to Scotland, I still can't see, and we will start to see his regular, what he thinks is a strong 11. I mean, Wales last night had 3 or 4 young boys who are, I think a couple of them have got the chance to be superstars.
Yep.
Never mind Gareth Bale as a superstar. The other ones have got a real chance. I just wonder if we've got a nucleus there where we think, I mean, I'd love to see, I wish Billy Gilmore was 19.
Well, do you know what? You seen the Welsh team last night. I think they're 17, 18-year-olds. Why not throw the boy in? Now, I know he's not played with Chelsea first team, right, and I'm not getting far ahead of myself here, but don't have the fear, just put them in and see how they do. It's all about putting them in the spotlight and seeing if they can handle it. But I've said in the programme before, I've seen Billy Gilmore a lot on the internet. I've kept a close eye on him because obviously he was a young boy at Rangers and he went down to Chelsea. And some of the performance he's put in for Chelsea is unbelievable. I think he's been training with the first team as well. He's playing with Scotland under 21s over in the Toulon tournament in the summer, and he was fantastic. So you never know, just throw them in and see how they do. But I do think we've got a nucleus of a lot of good young players. It's just about, how could I put it, just believing in them and putting them in.
Yeah.
And listen, it might not be great to start with, but in the long run it will benefit the Scottish game and the Scottish national team.
Yeah, I get into a little bit of a, and I'm not going to, I don't want to kind of blow smoke your way. I kind of cut that off there. I didn't want to go through the whole phrase, but I get into a little bit of a spat with some people on Twitter and Facebook over the fact that I mentioned that Paul McStay, the best midfielder we've had who's Scottish in Scotland since Paul McStay, for me was you. Now, we've had lots of others, and people were making an argument over Paul Lambert, looking at various other players that played in the midfield. For me, for someone to come into a team so young and then eventually captain them and show tremendous maturity, you have Paul McStay, you have yourself. Do you believe Billy Gilmore is the next big superstar for Scotland and at club level for Chelsea?
Yeah, listen, I don't like putting too much pressure on young players, but he's went down to Chelsea as a 16-year-old boy and he was producing in the youth team, and he's obviously been put into, I think it's the under-23s down there. He's training with Chelsea first team, so they obviously see something. And for me, I think he's got everything in the locker. I was a bit disappointed that Rangers didn't try a bit harder to keep him, because I think in time he will be a top player, and he'll be in Chelsea's first team, because bear in mind you don't get a lot of young boys coming through at Chelsea. I think he's got a real chance. But going back to Paul McStay, I remember as a young boy growing up, and I used to love watching him. Obviously I shouldn't really say it. I don't know if that'll come across right, but you've got to respect players. And I remember like quite a few of my friends who were Celtic fans at the time saying, he's not, he only goes side to side, but the guy could keep the ball for fun.
Yeah.
I just don't think he got enough credit. A guy like Paul McStay was a fantastic football player. And I was the same. I get people say, you'll pass it 10 yards to the side, but it's all about keeping the ball.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But going back to Billy Gilmore, I think he's got everything to become the next biggest thing to come out in Scotland. There's no doubt in my mind.
The Welsh boy that played, the young Welsh boy last night, he's had 6 first team games.
The boy
for Chelsea. The boy with the sort of a
dreadlocks.
Valderrama Dreadlock. He's actually been in the first team or round about it. You can see he's oozing a confidence when he come on, and the wee slide pass he put through there was just inch perfect for the goal.
I come back to it, Peter. I just look at the Scotland squad. It's a good age now. All the boys are. It's a young group of players, and just go and let them play together. And I think in time, do you know what? We've got a real chance of qualifying for a major finals in my mind.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think.
This one coming?
Yeah, look, you just need to look at Robertson. For me, what can you say about him? I think he's top class. You've got Kieran Tierney, you've got McGinn. I know he's went down to the Championship, but he started in fire down there. You've got McTominay, who I know he's not playing at Man United, but you've got Armstrong, Premier League. You've got, for me, Lee Griffiths. I know he's a bit older, but if you look round about that, young John Souttar, you've got McKenna. I think there's a lot of potential in that squad to go and do something. It's a real opportunity for the first team in a long time to get to a major finals.
Yeah, the other guy's name, Ethan Ampadu. It was bugging me, Ruffy, the guy that you were talking about. But again, there are stars everywhere. It's just making that jump, and I think that's the key.
He's getting the chance. It's somebody believing in them, and I was lucky enough that I get a manager like Dick Advocaat coming. I know Walter Smith gave him my debut, but he threw me in.
Yeah.
When maybe another manager wouldn't have, and then obviously Craig Brown, at a young age, I was still could have played under 21s for a couple of years, but go and take the opportunity. It's there for you, because there's a lot of players getting to an age where they were going to retire. So he just threw me in to see how I would respond to it, and it's all about getting the chance and somebody, a manager, believing in you. And I think we've got enough players, and certainly talking about Billy Gilmer, I think he's one that certainly I'm sure Alec McLeish will be looking at and thinking in time I might just bring him into the squad and give him that opportunity.
Yeah. Do you wish you could play along with him?
Yep, I do. I think I seen him. I think it was last year, or the year before, in the Glasgow Cup, and I think he was only 15, but that's 2 years ago. You can see he's starting to develop as well now, which every boy at a young age develops at a different time, and he was quite thin, but he was only 15. But you can see the difference since he's moved down to England.
Okay, listen, the one thing that everybody worries about, Ruffy, is players coming back from international duty injured. I mean, Eros Greda has been sent back from Albania, so Steven Gerrard's suddenly got a guy that he's just signed. There's a worry. He might, have to look at the injury and wonder how long he's out. Aaron Hughes has come back off the international Northern Ireland international squad because he's picked up an injury as well. That's always the big fear, isn't it, when you get this break?
Well, if you're in a successful football team, when the international weekend comes round, there might not be anybody in the dressing room because they're all away playing.
Yeah.
And that's why I think now that Scott Brown started it, obviously with the injuries he was getting, was trying to make up his mind, where do I go here? And I think more and more people will now be looking at club football rather than international.
Yeah, what was you mentioned that there. I mean, if you are in a squad full of internationals and you're sitting in the dressing room on your own, you must be thinking something's wrong. But I wonder, how did it feel with the Partick Thistle players when you were always away on international duty?
No, I think, and Barry might agree, I think players respond to when you're away, and if you beat England or you qualify for a World Cup or something, you're part of the whole team.
He loves the World Cup.
That's why I don't like international break, because it nails you every day.
The players just enjoy it, and they enjoy it even more when you get your second World Cup and then you get your third World Cup.
Right,
It's just a big bonding.
Right. You've had
Change the subject,
yeah, absolutely. Let's move on. Oren Kearney, 3-year deal. 3-year deal. I mean, I was joking with one of my fellow journalists today. I said it's a 3-game deal over 2 months, but it is a 3-year deal for the Northern Irishman. He's come from Coleraine. They won the Irish Cup last year. He's obviously somebody who's caught the St Mirren Board's attention from the last time they interviewed him.
Yeah, listen, it's obviously a risk because the Irish League is not as strong as the Premier League. But as you say, he won the Cup last year. I think they finished second in the league. I actually watched them on Sky the other night. They were playing the 1-3-0, I think.
You get out much?
No.
There's people going out to restaurants and things. You know that, don't you?
It's during the week. It's a school night. But listen, he's done a great job because I think Coleraine were struggling. until he took over. So it's great to see people getting a chance. So hopefully he comes over here and he does well.
Yeah, and Jonathan Johansson, one of your old mates, he's in as well, Ruffy.
Same again. He was at Morton, and I think 2012 doing some stuff, so they've remembered what he does. But he's been about quite a lot now, you know, trying international football, trying club football, and he's obviously due his chance.
Yeah.
And let's hope he does well. Well, not well all the time, just medium.
Until he comes up against us. Oh yeah, I knew you were going to say that. Listen, well done to Dick Campbell. Again, another manager of the month. Dick's magnificent. He just produces it.
And as you know, when we're in a company, it reminds us of the history he's got of taking clubs up divisions, and I think second to none. I think his record's there for everybody to see. He has the ability to do that, and the players respond to him.
Okay, Kyle Lafferty reckons Rangers are going for 55 this season. Is he putting a wee bit of pressure on the boys?
Yeah, listen, I like that sort of attitude, but for me, that's dressing room talk. That's behind the four walls. I would rather players keep their thoughts inside the dressing room. I'm sure, listen, that privately they'll be saying, look, we've got a chance, like every team's got a chance.
Yeah.
But come out and saying it, sometimes just keep a lid on it and keep it inside.
Okay, there you are. There's the former Rangers captain just giving you a bit of advice, Kyle. Now, tomorrow there's a game going on. It's a charity game for cancer. 3 cancer charities will benefit from it. And this is Celtic against Liverpool. James Milner against Stilian Petrov. There'll be more than a few fans heading along for a bit of nostalgia, a bit of fun, and obviously Jurgen Klopp's first visit to Celtic Park. I thought I would indulge you to and see greatest ever Celtic, greatest ever Liverpool team. I've put together 2 teams, Ruffy, just to see what you think. Here's the greatest ever Celtic team if they were playing at the peak of their powers. What do you make of this side?
Yeah, you can't knock the Lisbon Lions that you've got in there. Obviously with Dalglish and Larsson there up front. Don't have a problem with that side at all. It'd be entertaining.
That's 9 Champions League winners, Ruffy.
Yeah, fantastic. And Billy there in the middle. Danny McGrain, what can you say about the 2 fullbacks? It's just a super side.
Yep, it's got flair on the wings. It's got goals up front. It's got 3 midfielders that you would want to play alongside as well. Okay, Barry, assess the Liverpool side for me, because I mean there's a tweak here and there, but the back line, rock solid. The keeper, great. The middle of the park, Souness and Gerrard.
That's the first thing that attracts me.
Yeah,
they 2 in the middle of the park. For me, I was only a young boy growing up and seeing Souness, and obviously he came to Rangers and transformed Rangers. I know he had a few pounds to spend, but what a player he was. Yeah. And I was lucky enough to play under him as well. A great manager and a hard man. And obviously Steven Gerrard speaks for himself.
Yeah.
What a phenomenal player.
I like Steve Highway. Would you'd maybe stick John Barnes in?
I loved watching John Barnes. Steve Highway was a bit before my time. John Barnes is, when you watch football growing up, I thought he was unbelievable with his wee skin tight shorts on. He was great. That's
a great point there that he's making. I mean, that left side there, you could have your day Ian Callaghan.
Yes, but again, I remember the goal that Barnes scored against Brazil over there was fantastic. Reminiscent of the Maradona goal against England. So he had all the ability in the world. But you're right, Gerrard and Souness in the middle. Yeah. What a bit of dig there.
Yeah, well, it's predictions time. What would the score be, Ruffy, in that match?
I would go for the Celtic team to maybe win 2-1.
2-1, Barry?
5-0 Liverpool.
And,
at
least to score for
each team, either half. I get it, lovely. Look at Barry now. Yeah, don't forget, Barry's thinking about coming on Twitter, and when he does, he's in for a rude awakening. Thanks to Barry Ferguson and Alan Ruff. Hopefully you've enjoyed the show. Don't forget, subscribe to our YouTube channel, PLZ Soccer. We will be back again on Monday. Thanks for watching. Good night.